What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Rwagnation League Grand Prix here in the F2 cars at Germany. I'm Ben Raggy McConnell and I am solo commentating the F2 races, but we are going to have the luxurious King Kodiak back. You know the amazing voice that is Mr. Chris Buxton is going to be joining us later for the F1 race. However, we do have a one-shot qualifying, a 25% feature race and a 25% sprint race to get through, which after seeing that happen there, we may end up having to rehost, but we'll bear that in mind. We'll see what happens as we are already in with the formation, not formation lap, the one-shot quality lap. I'm going to stay with, is Piloto here? Yes, he is. I mean, this guy has been so consistent throughout. This guy has been absolutely phenomenal when it comes to the qualifying laps. He's almost always on pole, even if it's just like by a tenth or two. He's always up there. Right now, he's currently sat there for P2, and we have something new today. Pibelet? I don't actually know how you pronounce that name. I'm hopefully going to learn that pretty quickly because looking at it right now, P1 is where he's sat. P1 is going to be very amazing debut, I guess, in the F2 cars, and beating Piloto Paya would be such a huge, like, just slap down, lay the gauntlet, you know? Piloto Paya coming through into the awkward left-hander, then you got the even worse, even more of an awkward right-hander, and they're coming into the final sector now. Watch out for those bumps on the left. You definitely don't want to touch any of those. They will kill you 100%. As going to the quick right, make sure you don't cut the curb too much, but don't run too wide, because you will very easily find yourself thrown even further out wide. Now coming into the final few corners, 2 to go, and now here's the final. There we go, push hard now. Can you make it to the line? Are you going to be able to get P1? It is over to Pibelet, who gets P1, 122.064 with Piloto there in 122.171. Quite a jump then towards Jack. It was 122.741. Then Lando's his teammate right there in P4. Azia P5, Aviator P6, Terrorworm P7, Furball P8, Roshko P9, Tiger Jr. P10, and Overspeed gets the Best of the Rest award. So good stuff already. We're starting to kick off quite nicely here. Going into the feature race. Remember, 25% feature race moved into a 25% sprint race, where the points make a massive difference if you do well in the first one. So here's Pibelet, who's going to be in P1. And the gaps between them actually quite spread out after you get past the top two. And you got the 2/10 between those guys, and then it jumps quite a substantial amount towards Azia, then Aviator, who's really close when it comes to him and Terrorworm. But this is where it comes down to the actual race. DRS and tow obviously makes a massive difference when it comes to the raw skill that these guys need to have as well in order to keep these F2 cars pointing in the right direction. If you accidentally just put the foot down on the accelerator just a little bit too much, immediately you just lose the back end and off you go towards the wall. So we'll see how we fare off later on. We are now prepping for that feature race. These guys are going to be looking at the strategy, seeing if they can just take the tyres that they've got all the way to the end, or do they feel as though they need to change onto something different, but also more or less looking at the fuel consumption side of things. So we'll see. Waiting for a few drivers to just ready themselves up. And looking at the sky, it's not the greatest of weather conditions, but it's dry, and that's important. So light cloud does mean that it should be relatively cool on the track. The grip will still be there. It's just the formation lap is obviously going to be slippy. The first lap, the run into turn 1, is also obviously going to be quite important as well, given the fact that that is quite a huge corner cutting problem for a lot of drivers. But looking at that, everybody's gone for the medium tyre, so they're all going to be on the same grip level and all going to be on the same race distance. No one's going to need to chuck in any sort of pit stops. Toto P17, that's quite uncharacteristic for him. He's usually quite up there near the top 10 boys at least, but P17, that is quite surprising. We'll see if he can recover it then. We got the Tiger family, Tiger's father and son. Although it's his son this time that's beaten him so far in the qualifying. I think Tiger Racing couldn't actually participate in the qualifying. I think he had a game disconnect or something, but we are pushing through. There we are then. Can Pibelet hold it through to turn 1? It's very important that he does that. We have actually had 2 drivers reset to the track. That is Toto and Jeb, so they've come together at some point on the formation lap. We'll go back up to our front runners. I think Piloto is probably going to be the better person to watch for on the starts. He is seriously quick when it comes to these starts. But obviously in his debut, he's already impressing. He's already got 4 points from the pole position that he secured in the one-shot qualifying event. He now needs to just maintain that throughout the first few corners, secure it. I think the main worry for him is going to be the long run up to the hairpin. If he's slow at all in that respect, then he's going to lose out quite drastically, and that we can't afford to have happen. Piloto and Jack obviously going to be chasing him down as well, trying to find any opportunity going into the hairpin. The inside line is going to be the more crucial one, as long as you don't run through it. If you run past it, then you are going to be in serious trouble. Here we are then, the drivers are just getting themselves back into the grid. I think we are waiting for a Raven Duck, yes we are, to make it through the final few corners, reset to the grid, and then we're going to be underway with the F2 race here in Germany. If I was to give you a 1, 2, 3, I mean, he's impressed me already in the one-shot qualifying. I think he's definitely going to be in the top 3. It's just whether or not he's going to be able to get that P1 or not, I don't know. I'm going to still back my boy Piloto. I think Piloto is going to secure the P1. Pibulets are going to be P2, I reckon, with Jack in P3. Well, now is the time to prove it as the lights are on, and we are about to get underway with the German Grand Prix. And there we go then. So Pibulets has got a pretty solid start. Has Piloto done better? No, he has not. He's going to have to tuck straight in behind. The two Dams drivers are going to have to slot in together as well, make sure they don't collide with each other. We've already had contact. That is a big off there, Toto. He's been rotated, 2-second time penalty, and that was also Tiger Jr. getting one with overspeed as well. More collisions, more carnage. Overspeed, sorry, getting 3-second time penalty as well for collisions with Foxy, but seemingly no major losses. We have had one. Tiger Racing, he's currently out. He's right the way down the field. Jeb also in a bit of a predicament here, but the big battle's happening. Coming in towards the hairpin now. It's going to be Landos Milkman who's going to try and find his way through the inside. He's got Piblet who's lost out massively down to P5. Oh no, Landos rotated. He's going to fall down the order, and we have to go back up to the front runners because Azia is alongside Piblet, and somehow Piblet has managed to recover back up to P3. Azia is about to lose a position potentially if Avia has got anything to say about this. Is he? No, he's not. Azia getting a little bit wobbly. Oh, they're still side by side, and Azia comes back at him, back into P3. Well done. Jack up to P2, and Piloto taking his usual spot of P1, and the gap is already starting to form. Something's not gone right for Piblet. We're not sure exactly what, but Avia is trying to find that gap. There is no gap right now. You're going to have to sit tight for a meanwhile, sir, as we go around the rest of the field. Absinthe, with his teammate right behind him, is trying to apply pressure to Roshko. Tiger Jr. is kind of leading this little train that's going on at the minute, but obviously still lap 1. Lap 2 has now just been started, and no DRS yet. Remember, DRS is next lap, and that's where we're going to start to see the overtakes just ramp up even more as we get to that long straight. Looking at Hardy as well. Oh, he almost lost the car there, but he's kept it together. All good so far, no major problems for him. Furball watching the battle ahead for P3. P2 is just starting to build that gap as well, but the gap between P2 and P1 is just too far away. Roshko's lost out, he's somehow falling down the order, but this is a bit of a scrap going on here. Look at this. Here comes Hardy around the outside of Absinthe. He's going to get that one done, but he's got no toe, he's got no movements, and lots of carnage there. Who was that? Piboletto. He's gone. Teruel with a big send, but that's not worked out as well. And here comes Azia. There was definite carnage between the two of them, and somehow they've lost so many places. Azia falls to P10. He's going to have a hell of a recovery drive to bring this one back. And look at this. Absinthe on the back of Tiger Jr. looking for an inside. There it is. Is he going to be able to keep it together? Yes, he is. Clean enough so far from Absinthe. Everything's good. There's more issues there. That's Avia's. Oh, wow, that was close. Oh, my God, that's a massive crash. Avia and Terraworm, they come together. That was an enormous crash. 3-second time penalty for Terraworm. Holy, that was nuts. And they're still going. Hardy. And who was that? Was that Azia? Yes, it was. Azia and Hardy have a little bit of a moment. There was a little bit of a touch and go there, but still together. Someone needs to go and get a. Someone needs to go and check in that Terrorworm's still alive after that one. That was a huge crash. Marquez and Ravenduck. Ravenduck's gone. I think he got hit in the rear into the wall. He's going to be in trouble if he blocks anybody. No, he stays out of the way. Very smartly done. Lap 3 now then, so DRS is now enabled, and the first time penalty, at least I can see for multiple warnings, has now been put on the board. That was Lando's Milkman. Furball, P4, looking for P3. He's got DRS wing wide open, and he's closing in. He's reeling in Roshko. There he goes, he flicks over, starting to make movements. Is he going to be able to make anything happen in the hairpin? He's not, as here comes Roshko, but he's lost the rear. Just getting a little bit too excited on the accelerator. Quick reset to track, and that scares the life out of Hardy and Azia for that matter. They both had to avoid that. Still, sure enough, they have done so. And no further issues to report. Absinthe still looking for Furball, but that gap is slightly larger than he wants it to be. Although it is reeling in, actually. 3.8 tenths is the gap, and it's slowly dropping. Absinthe is in a position here to potentially take P3. I thought that Piblet would be able to take a nice hearty P2, and I am completely missing that up. There we go. Fixed that. He's managed to get moved on. He's going for it down the inside. This is going to be a nice little smooth move. As Landos is getting squeezed to the outside by Marquez. And that unfortunately cost Piblet as well. He loses out to Aviator, who's now just slipping through. A little bit of contact between him and Landos. Aviator and Piblet are still scrapping. Piblet is going to have to just rely on DRS to keep with this battle. Big yellow flags in sector 2. That's Jeb who's gone. More battles happening as well. I think Absinthe is ready to fire one on a Furball. And I'm looking at Jack. He looks like he's potentially a chance of bringing that gap back down to under 1 second and get that DRS back underway and potentially go for a battle for P1. But Jack is really delivering. Is Absinthe going to be able to send it into the hairpin? He's not, but he's going to go into the back of Furball. That's going to send Furball a little bit wide, although he's kept that very cleanly under control as Roshko is going side by side with Hardy. He's going to have to go for a cutback opportunity, and we saw what happened last time, and the exact same things happened again. That is twice in a row now. Roshko needs to find a way to get out of that hairpin without having any issues on the accelerator. And who's that? Is that Tiger Jr.? Yes, it is. Just, I think he got scared a little bit from Roshko's reset to track, and he's done the exact same thing to Foxy, who very smartly gets out of the way. We're seeing more movements. That's Lando's Milkman going very far off track there. I think he may have been forced out wide, or maybe late break potentially. And here comes Marquez. Marquez is going to try and stick around the outside. Jeb has retired from the session. And Lando's Milkman will secure P11 again, but still no points for him. This is something he needs to work on. He started off pretty well. In fact, if we look at the biggest winners and the biggest losers, Absinthe is the biggest winner right now by 15 places gained. That is tremendous for him to be able to pull that on. Oh, there we go. All right, Absinthe, 5 laps to go, mate. Can you get P3? I mean, he's well within that gap to be able to get the DRS toe. He's already on the gearbox of Furball. I don't know how Furball's going to handle this one. Oh, he's had a wobble. That's exactly how he's going to handle it. Here comes Absinthe then. DRS swing wide open. He's going to go for the inside. Yep, he is. And Furball surrenders it. Trying to hold the outside, but he knows this run to the hairpin is far too long. All I can do is let him go and just wait for the next lap to try and do that all over again. We go back down to Piblet, who's also in a similar position, but this time he's taking the outside as Aviator's going to lose out and fall down to P10. Still a point nonetheless, but a point is where they're going to stay as Hardy's looking for the inside on Tortor. I think Overspeed is right here as well in this. Yes, he is. 3-way battle for P6. This isn't going to change at least anytime soon. There might be a battle for P15, 16 as the two Tiger family go for it. Tiger Racing blocked up massively, but he's kept himself pointing in the right direction. And Tiger Jr. says, go, Dad. You can have this position for now, but don't worry, because I'm coming back for it later. And Overspeed is also losing the rear. Oh, he caught that very nicely. That's allowed Piblet to come for a run on him. Is he going to actually get this position, though? That's the real question. I think the answer is a firm nope, not today, not now. We have to wait a couple more laps, potentially, before he can get that one done. As Tortor and Hardy are having their own little battle, and Overspeed has somehow found himself in a different one. This is a battle for P8 now, trying to maintain this one. Keep yourselves calm, keep yourselves collected, and you might find yourselves in a better position than you originally anticipated, as Avia is also working his way up this pack, trying to find even more positions as you gain a time penalty there for multiple warnings. Probably turn 1, in fact it's definitely turn 1, as a lot of people are struggling with it. It is a very difficult corner to take without invalidating. Aviator working his way up to it. Might actually be able to take an outside line here. We've got yellow flag. That is one of the, I was going to say McLaren's, but it's not a McLaren, it's a Campos Racing car. That's Azia. Oh, he almost collides with two drivers there, and that's actually him losing 3 places. Hardy's looking for Tortor. This is going to be a nice outside run. Tortor's got no answer to this. That's a pretty simple move, I think. No changes just yet. Aviator's coming into this as well. He's also looking for an inside line. Overspeed's lost the car, but he's kept it actually well held there from Overspeed, sorry. Aviator's still battling with Piblet. He just cannot find a way through. He's getting a place from Azia, obviously from him losing the control in turn 3. But I don't know if Aviator is going to be able to make any passes here. This is just too tight, too hard to make a pass when it's in these F2 cars. You've got so little downforce, or is it? Here he goes, looking for the maneuver. Inside line. Might send it here, might have to. He's trying to hold it clean, he's trying to hold it tight, and well played Aviator for keeping that in mind, but it does cost you an opportunity, a position there, and that's brought Azzy back into this along with Lando's Milkman. This is now a 5-way battle for P7, and this is all about the points, because bear in mind that the top 8 are reverse gridded for the sprint race, so whoever's in P8 will get P1 in the start of the sprint race. So you've got to make sure that you are wise to where you place your car if you are only looking for 1 or 2 points more than necessary. And Overspeed there, P7, he's trying to hold Pibulette back, and I don't know if he can now, coming into turn 3. This is the tough one, this is the hard bit. He's going around the outside. Overspeed's holding him dead to rights, and I think he may have lost out as a result. Yes, he has. Pibulette's through. Overspeed might lose 2 places here, as here comes Aviator. They all have DRS. Hardy's trying to recover. I think he lost a lot, but here comes Aviator, as he's going to be on the back of this as well. Aviator's got the inside. They're going to go 3 wide into the hairpin. Aviator's got the primary location for him. There's a bit of a sandwich. Oh, a big send by Landos. Goes into the side of Azia, and that's a big collision. Still all good though. I don't see any more penalties being issued for the collision. Pibulette's still here with Aviator. Hardy F1 is doing quite well to maintain this little distance he's got at the minute. Toto is now starting to pull away. Absinthe is 10 seconds behind Jack, but look at Jack's time to Piloto. 1.1 seconds. That is getting closer to that DRS margin that Jack so desperately desires. If he can get it, he might actually be able to get the race win here. Landos Milkman is on the back of Azia, and again, this train now has just actually got longer. It's now a 6-car battle for P6. I don't think this is going to change at all for the rest of the race. I think they're going to be fighting right the way through the remainder of this Grand Prix. It's just who's going to be where. That's the only thing. I don't think anybody knows. There's no way that you can predict any of this right now, as they're all so closely matched. Pibulette was favoured given the fact that he did such a fast qualifying time, but doing fast times in qualifying is great. But coming onto the racetrack, oh, he's got to stay on the racetrack for the first bit. He can't go on the grass. Now he's going to have to try and fire one down the inside of Aviator. Overspeed's also looking for any position gain as Landos and Azia, they swap places. Azia's lost control, that's why he's gone off. And now Pibulette is in a weird predicament as Aviator is going for a send here on Hardy. I think he's going to get this one done nice and simple. We'll quickly look back at Overspeed, who's also going for the inside line into Pibulette. This is going to be all about the braking. I think Overspeed's got the better run, but it's going to be harder for him because Hardy's blocking the way, and unintentionally he's just slower through that hairpin. That's allowed Overspeed to lose that position to Pibulette and potentially to Landos Milkman as they are going side by side again. I don't know how Landos is going to hold this one out. He's going to try his best down the inside, but there is a bit of contact, bit of a wheel kick out there, and that is Overspeed staying P9. And he's losing the rear himself actually, so Landos still could come right back at him. This is going to be all the way down to the wire, absolutely. Marquez and Azia, they're also scrapping, they're also having moments. Marquez having a little bit of a lag moment there, and that's Tiger racing on the rear of him too. Marquez seems to have lost connection completely as he's still here, but Pibulette on the back of Hardy F1. I'm not sure how Hardy's going to defend this one because Pibulette has been showing some incredible speed right now. Pibulette's still there. DRS on the home straight might help him, but I don't think he's going to send it there. If anything, he's going to wait unless Hardy is that much slower, which I don't think he is. I think Hardy can hold this one even all the way in towards turn 2. Although Pibulette has the run. There he is. He's on the inside. Hardy's now stuck, hung out left to dry. I don't know if Pibulette's going to get the DRS though on AV. I don't think he is. Hardy's right there still. Hardy might actually benefit here. I think he has. Let's have a look who's got the DRS. Hardy has, so Pibulette is in trouble. He knows it now. He went for the move too early, and this has allowed Hardy to open that wing and just cruise right past him again. It's going to come down to who's going to be better on the brakes, and I think Pibulette might have everything thrown away for him here unless he can get the beautiful cutback as Hardy's gone for a tight line. Here comes Overspeed down the inside. Didn't work out for him. Landos Milkman will take that though. He's straight up now into P9. Pibulette gets a penalty for running out wide, and this is Landos Milkman on the back of Pibulette then. Can he find a way down the inside? He's looking for it. It's going to be a late break, but not late enough, and that's going to keep Pibulette P8. It's also going to be Landos Milkman still fighting. They're actually going to be side by side throughout. Surely he's not going to be able to keep this one maintained, and no, he does not. This is going to be Jack getting the fastest lap and almost now within DRS. Is this the opportunity he needs? He just needs to break that little bit more, get a 1/10 within it, and I don't think he can. He's not. He's 1.1, so there's no way through. And Overspeed and Lando, have a bit of moment, and Roshko just slides on by, slides into the DMs of Pibulette and says, "I'm coming up to your rear, mate. I'm P9." Pibulette P8 trying to work his way on Hardy F1, and Hardy's again doing the same he always does, which is hold this well. But will Pibulette learn from his mistake last time round? I don't think he is. He's still going for it. It's just whether or not this time Hardy's going to be able to maintain it again, same as he did last lap. If he can, this could be crucial. Oh, he's gone for a tight line down the inside. It hasn't worked out. He's got the exit wrong, and that's going to allow Piblet to run away now. In fact, this has actually allowed Roshko to be right on the rear of the Univirtuosi car. I don't think Hardy can hold this one now. Surely not. He's got DRS as well, but Roshko had the toe. And now this is going to be a battle of brakes again. We're seeing this so frequently. Roshko's going to take the very long outside line. He might even go for the cutback, but he needs to make sure his exit is clean. He's had issues earlier, and this time he keeps it clean, but this time Hardy recovers. Manages to hold on to P8. This is crucial for him because he needs that reset of grid order. We need to go to our front runners as they're coming through the final two corners. Piloto will take the win unless he has a penalty, which I don't think he has. And I think Jack has got the fastest lap. Yes, he has. Here we come to the line. Piloto takes the win. Jack takes P2. Absinthe will cross the line and take P3. And we're going to quickly go down the order because I'm seeing lots of battling happening. And I don't know exactly who's gone off of where and what, but everything is clean, I think. Overspeed is still here. Might get an opportunity on Hardy if one arises. I don't think one is going to arise. Toto managed to get himself in a P5 and hold that one, even after having a really rough start. He's really recovered. I think he might actually have got the biggest winner. No, Absinthe got that with 16 places gained. And across the line we come then. Hardy P8, Overspeed P9, but he loses due to penalties. It's actually Landos who goes P9. Roshko takes P11. Azia will across the line and take P12. With Tiger Racing coming into P13. Might get a penalty place. Yes, he does, due to the penalties being issued. Azia falls to P13. Tiger Jr. will come across the line in a second and make it for P14. Marquez will take 15th place, with Terrorworm 16th, and last but not least, in dramatic fashion, saying hello to the stewards as he goes. And coming to the finish line. Oh, I think we're meant to look away here, right? Oh, he's reversing. He will make it to the line. He assures us very cleanly he'll make it to the line. And there it is, across the line. Well done. We made it. All drivers made it except for Raven Duck and Jeb. But we'll see exactly what the final rundown is in just a second. Here we go. Piloto taking P1, unsurprisingly. However, Jack did get P2. And look at the point gap between them. Now, bear in mind, Piloto didn't get the fastest lap this week. It was actually Piblet who managed to get that. So he's got the 4 points from before. So he's actually sat on a firm 10 points right now. Whereas Piloto is actually on the 25 he's got. Jack is P2 with the 20. And because obviously he got the fastest lap, he gets those two. So that's what's made it to 20. Absinthe in P3. Furball P4. Aviator P5. Tortor P6. Piblet P7. A bit of a drop from P1. Hardy in P8, Landos Milman P9, Overspeed in P10 with Roshko getting best of the rest. Then you've got Tiger Racing in P12, Azia P13, Tiger Jr. P14, Marquez P15, Terrorworm 16th, Foxy in dramatic fashion finally made it to the line in 17th with the two DNFs being Raven Duck and Jeb. Now remember, the top 8 are reversed going into the sprint race, so Hardy will be in P1 when we start this race. Piblet will have another opportunity at getting a great start, given the fact that he has such a rough one after starting this one. As he was starting in P2, and Tortor may have an opportunity at a podium here if he can get a nice solid P1, P2, maybe even a P3. He's going to start in P3, so it'd be a really good helping hand for him. Aviator obviously is going to be right there on the back of him as well, so this is where the push has to happen. There cannot be a delay here. There absolutely has to be a much better race. But that is rain. That is rain. That's going to add some spice to this. I'm still looking at the tyres, and they're suggesting mediums there. I'd be surprised if we do go with the mediums. Likelihood is we're going to be going with the intermediate tyres unless it is dry enough to stay on the dry tyres. Then you're going to see issues. Then you are going to see one of the most difficult races of all. I am told that it is going to be dry tyres going into this race. Dry tyres into this race when it's damp like this is going to be a nightmare. It's going to be an absolute nightmare to try and keep your car pointing in the right direction whilst also maintaining your position. Oh, this is going to be so difficult. And leading us away off the start then is going to be Hardy. So off we go. Piblet, like I said, going to get a chance to redeem himself after that first race. We've already had an off. That is Furball, who's just casually gone onto the grass. Going to go mow the lawn for us. Thank you, Furball, for doing the groundsman duty. You are awesome. As always, we've had another issue there. Who's that? That is Avia? Who is that? Oh, it's Absinthe. Absinthe trying to get himself off and going again. will fall to the back of the formation lap. We have seen more drivers go. Is that Hardy? No, it's not. It's the other one. That's Foxy. Having a... Oh, Ravenduck's gone as well. This is just a signal to suggest how difficult this is going to be trying to keep your car on track. We've seen a few drivers already getting reset to the grid. But I mean, this is going to be hard. This is going to be a very tense, difficult, and well, everything that racing could ever offer is going to be delivered here in this race. There's going to be overtakes, there's going to be dramas, there's going to be offs, there's going to be mistakes, there might even be some tears. But that's what makes racing so glorious, and the best part about it is we have 7 laps of it in these F2 cars, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when your car's... Oh, who's that? That is Hardy. Hardy found himself in the wall. Big sad for him then. Mowing those lawns as well. Doing us a solid. Thank you, Hardy. Jack then on the back of Absinthe is where they're going to be starting off. Aviator is the one who's actually ahead of him right now. And we've had drama already, and we're only on the formation lap. Imagine what it's going to be like when the lights go out and we have to go racing for real. This is where it's going to be so difficult, so tough, and so tense. And I really can't wait. I really, really can't wait. Now, just a reminder for you all that have just joined, this is the F2 sprint race. We have just had an F2 feature race and the one-shot qualifying to go along with it as well. After this, we'll be going into the F1 race, where you're going to see the top dogs, the best of the best, go racing at it on the F1 circuit. And trust me, if you got a chance to see the F1 race last week, you do not want to miss the race this week. It is going to be phenomenal. Germany always delivers, and it's about to deliver again in the F2 cars. As the lights are about to come on now then, Hardy F1 is going to be the one leading us away here in Germany. Can he keep it in check? Can he get the good exit he needs in a slippery, slidey track? Hardy is going to get a good solid stab. I think Piblet may have got a little bit of a better one. Or has he? Everybody's struggling. We've already had Furball having a bit of a wobble again. Back off in the same place. There's Hardy still holding the line. And that's worked out wonderfully for him. He's actually built up a beautiful gap already. Am I seeing any major issues? We've got a little bit of a pack battle going on further down the field. Oh, that's somebody off. Who is that? Is that Tiger Jr.? I think he's actually hit the wall. Yes, he has, but he's recovered. He's still going strong. And that is Ravenduck alongside Terrorworm. And Noosa. More issues. That's a car pointing in the right direction. That is Jeb. That's him having issues. We can't look away though. This is getting very scrappy. There's a battle going on for P1. This is actually going to be Piblet and Hardy going into the hairpin. Has Piblet managed to get a better run through this? I don't think he has. Hardy's still there alongside of him. He's got the inside line. Piblet's going to have to go for a cutback. Hardy's gone way too deep. Piblet's lost the rear. Aviator's coming into this as well. I think Aviator might get that position on Piblet. No, he's not, because Piblet's recovered. I don't know how he managed that one, but he has. We're seeing penalties coming in left, right, and centre for collisions. That is mistakes left, right, and centre. So look further downfield, you can see more happening. Lando's Milk Mini's facing the wrong direction. So is Azia, and Ravenduck is all right so far. P16 breaking marker boards are getting destroyed as well. Tiger Racing is coming in touch with Terrorworm. That is a big contact. That was just a bit too deep, I think. And Piblet has lost out. He's dropped down to P4 now. And this battle here for P1 is getting so spicy. It's a 5-way battle. Hardy's gone off. Hardy's done a Vettel. Aviator is trying to hold them back now, and Jack is here. So is Piblet. So is Piloto. Piloto needs these points positions. Jack needs these points positions. He needs to be ahead of Piloto, and he needs to somehow still score a good solid 5 points or more in order to secure P1. If he can get that fastest lap again, he will easily secure that, as Aviator has just set that fastest lap right now. The marker has been set. Jeb and Marquez are having collisions as well. That's not good news. They've also done the Vettel. Sad news for them, but we need to go back to this battle for P1, 2, 3, 4. We also have a little battle going on between Absinthe and Roshko. In fact, that's actually just now brought that battle for P1 even closer, as Absinthe is going to find a way through. I think he has. They are still going to be side by side. No, they're not, as Absinthe is through on Roshko. It almost loses the rear of his car. Piblet is still looking for Jack. I'm not sure how Jack is going to be able to attack Aviator here, because he's just too far back. It's going to be a very late braking zone here if he does. And, oh, who's that who's gone off? Is that Absinthe? No, it's Piloto. Piloto's gone very deep into the corner. That is great news for Jack. Jack has just seen one of his main competitors go off, and so has Piblet. He's had a big off there. I think he must have just got a bit too aggressive on the accelerator. Given the fact that this track is so slippy, he has in fact lost out quite drastically. We've had a disqualification for parking on the track. That is Tiger Racing. We'll have Piloto back into this as well on the back of Absinthe. I'm watching and see how Absinthe is taking this. He's run off very wide and he comes back onto the track. Has a little bit of moment on the grass as well. The tyres are going to be even more slippy than they were before. Still holding on to it. We've got battle for P10 and 11. That is Lando's just slipping past Foxy, as Foxy appears to have made some sort of mistake. That's Noosa and Piblet also scrapping. There's scraps left, right and centre. You've got Furball on the back of Tortor. This is a battle for P6. We've got a three-way battle for P3 right now, which is not going to change, although Furball almost loses his rear. We got Roshko, Piloto and Absinthe for P3, and then Jack and Aviator for P1 and 2. Piloto is really struggling in these wet conditions. Even though it's not actually wet and there is no water on the track that's causing them to need to go to intermediate tyres, they might want to consider it. We've seen wets coming out on a few of the drivers here. Hardy, Ravenduck and Marquez have all decided this is the moment I have to go wet. So let's see actually how they seem to be on this tyre. Ravenduck, relatively okay. Hardy F1. Let's have a look at the gaps. 4.8 between them. It's actually Noosa and Piblet scrapping as well. They've gone side by side. Oh, Piblet almost goes back into the side of Noosa. That would have been drastic. Avia and Jack. Oh, Jack almost goes into the back of Avia. I think he was trying to brake slowly to not lock up his car. But that's cost him quite drastically now. He's really run wide, and 2-second gap means now that Piloto is right here. He's on the back of Absinthe. The gap is not that large in between P3 and P2. There is an opportunity here for Piloto to get through, and he has to back out. Absinthe holding his line. Although there is another gap here, another little opportunity, but not now. No, they're so scared to accelerate. This has got to be intermediate tyres now. This has got to be switching over to the wet conditions. There's no way now that they can stay on these tyres. I've not seen DRS get disabled yet. That is the main indicator. Jeb's into the pits. He's decided it's time for wet tyres. Oh, he's actually had to reset the track there. I want to see how he's actually bringing that gap down between him and Tiger Jr. It is coming down at a rate of about a couple of tenths per interval, although more issues left, right and centre. The battle for P3 is getting pretty close. The battle for P2 is getting closer, which I want to see these two go toe to toe. There is a large battle going on further downfield for 8th, 9th and 10th as Piblet is sitting there on the back. Foxy's kind of hanging in there, but he's struggling. Yeah, DRS has been disabled. This is absolutely wet tyre conditions now. They need to be switching off these mediums, but they're all worried because they know there's only 3 laps to go, and if they can maintain this pace throughout, they don't need to switch in their eyes. They can just hold this out for as long as they want. A pit stop could ruin you here. There's not enough time to recover. Oh, that's Xavier going deep, and Jack is here, but he can't find a way on the inside. He tried to take the outside, and that's cost him. He's not gained anything here. Oh, that's Xavier on the grass. That's allowed Jack through. Jack now into P1. He is looking on track to take his first weekend win in the F2 cars. If he secures a P1 here, he's absolutely nailed it. Although Piloto is seriously in trouble. Lando's Milkman, Piblet and Noosa all scrapping as Noosa's kind of sat in the middle of this. Although now he's just lost out and fallen behind his teammate Piblet, who's now up into P9 looking for Lando's Milkman, who's just that bit further ahead, meaning he can hold that for a while. But 9.4 seconds is the gap between him and Tortor, and that is the final points position is P8. So there's no way now that's going to change. Noosa is really trying to find a way through. I think he has actually. Piblet, they're still together. They're still side by side, but Piblet backs out. He doesn't want to risk that. These guys are still making these mediums look like they're the right tyre to be on. But if you look everywhere else on the track, it's Furball, sorry. He had lost out to Tortor. Yellow flag sector 2 and 3. Who's that? Is that Marquez? Jeb. That is Jeb who's lost out. He's seriously lost control of his car. He's struggling. Maybe the wet tyres are not the right tyre then in that case. 2 laps to go. 3 if you include the remainder of the one that they're on right now. And Jack there. Look at the gap. The gap has actually closed up so much. This allowed Absinthe now to be involved in this. Aviator really having a bit of a squabble there with his car. I don't know how Absinthe is going to be able to benefit from this because the lay on the brakes situation doesn't always work out, especially if you get the inside line. You're looking for the outside if you're going for the late for the brakes, and Avia is just that much slower. That stops Absinthe from being able to gain. This should allow Piloto to really benefit. He does half a second gain just through that one corner because of the mistakes that were made from Aviator, and holding Absinthe back a little bit meant that Piloto's now within the tow range because obviously there is no DRS. Despite the fact that they're on dry tyres and they're making it look like they're the right tyre to be on, they are still scrapping. Overspeed and Piblet. Overspeed's got the inside, going to be able to slide on through. Azia is going to be the tow that helps him get away. Piblet He's really losing out now. He did start P2 if you remember. So the fact that he's lost this much is just showing he's struggling in the race conditions when it comes to these F2 cars. Qualifying, he was rapid. Secured pole position and held it well and truly. Although when it comes to overtaking and battling on the track, he's really finding that difficult as Overspeed had a moment. Oh, he's having more of a moment. That was a bit more of a wobble. And here comes Piblet. Nope, decides against that as well. I just want to have a look at the biggest winner. It's Noosa currently, actually, who's P9, starting dead last. Went up to P9, and there's Piblet. Oh, he almost lost it again. Oh, man, he must be so nervous in that car. As Azia and Foxy, they're having a good old scrap, and they're both fighting the rear of the car. They cannot keep it in check, and Azia will be the one who... Oh, no, that was a big crash. I don't know who that was. Was that Jeb? It was Jeb. Jeb was struggling to stay on the circuit, and he gets punted hard from Azia, and that sent him right off there and off into the gravel even further. Absinthe in P3, he clips the back of Aviator, and that's caused him to lose that time now, and Jack is about to run free with this. Oh no, Aviator! He's just got a little bit too excited on the throttle, and that's caused that to lose control, and Piloto now into P2. This is where the battle could get spicy. I think the gap is just too much, so Jack needs to just keep it right. Keep himself in check. Aviator is back in place, but his teammates just jumped him into P4. I don't know how Piloto can break that 3.6 second gap down. He's going to have to try as hard as he can. When we look at the tyre situation, it's mediums for the most. We've only got 4 drivers that are on wets. Jeb is into the pits. He's gone super softs. Interesting. I mean, you know, fair play. If you can pull it off, pull it off. But we'll have to see how that fares for him. The track is still going to be super slippy. It just means he'll be able to maintain the temperature that much easier. It's just that the wear won't be that well for him. Oh, I mean, he's literally got a lap to go, so there's no mistakes there at all. Across the picket line exit, he gets a penalty as well for that. The wounds are just coming in even more than he necessarily wants, but we are now on the final lap. And, oh, that's Jeb, actually. He not only lost control of the car on the exit of the pit lane, he's sat there for quite a while. He's gone deep again. More mistakes being made, but we need to go back to these front... In fact, we'll have a look at P12 and 13, because the 2 teammates have gone off. They've gone off into the gravel. They've both done the Vettel, but I don't know if that was as a result of contact or not, but they have seriously gone deep. I think Jack is here on the back of Marquez now. Marquez needs to hop, skip, and jump out of the way, and he hasn't. There's a definite mistake there. I think he expected Jack to go through the inside, and Jack didn't. It was just trying to slow the car down. Braking in a straight line is the only solution in these conditions. Piloto went deep again. Absinthe feels bad. I think there was a bit of contact that caused that to happen. And Piloto back into P2. Absinthe falls back to P3, and Aviator is trying to use anything he can get to close in on the P3 battle. I don't even think that's going to change anytime soon. As Toto and Furball, they had a bit of a moment together, and Furball went off, but he's come back. Roshko is losing places to Toto. He might even lose a place here to Furball, or Roshko's coming back at Toto somehow. And I thought there was going to be a kiss there. No kisses, not today. We're not playing kiss catch. We're playing cross the line as quick as you can. And Jack is going to be the one who takes it today. He has done so well here in the F2 races. I am so pleased to say, for the first time since he started racing these F2 cars, he has done enough to cross and take the win here in the sprint race. And if my maths is correct, not only does he take the sprint race, he will also take the overall weekend win in the F2 cars. Piloto will take a very well-earned P2. Absinthe will cross and take P3. Oh, he jumps him. Oh, he jumps him. Oh, Piloto's lost out even more. He's down to P4. Big sad for him then. Toto across the line will take P5. Yes. Roshko P6. Just. Furball P7. Lando's Milkman P8. Getting the final point position. Noosa P9. Piblet will eventually make it to take P10. There it is with Overspeed coming as well. He comes for P11. P12 will go to Azia. I'll have a quick look at the position changes. The biggest winner ended up being Noosa, who with those 11 places gained. The biggest loser was unfortunately Hardy, who loses 12 places. And then the next biggest was Piblet, who lost 8. Struggled in both races, did Piblet. In his debut race, it's not gone as well as he wanted to. It looked so good. The fairy tale was set up. We expected it to go so differently when we saw the start kick off, but no, did not quite plan out for him. We just need to wait for the final couple of drivers. In fact, there's a little battle for these two going on. This might actually fare into something until that happens. Raven Duck loses it. Off into the wall he goes. Can he reset? Tiger Jr. will cross the line and take a P15. There it is, and Raven Duck has retired from the session. So that is it for the F2 race. We'll get the rundown in a second as we prepare to go into the F1 race. The highlight, the main event, everything you wanted in racing and more in just a little while. There's the podium, and here are the final race results. So Jack taking P1 with Absinthe there in P2. Piloto taking P3, but that 1 3-second penalty that Piloto got knocked him down from P2 to P4. Tortor P5, Roshko P6, Furball P7, Lando's P8, Noosa P9. Piblet taking P10 with Overspeed getting best of the rest. Then Azia, then Hardy, then Foxy, Tiger Jr., Raven Duck, Marquez, Jeb, Terrorworm, and Tiger Racing. In terms of the weekend, for the first time, it is Jack who takes it by 2 points. That fastest lap was what made that difference. He has secured it, and he very well deserved it. So well done, Jack, for securing the P1. Piloto, due to the penalties, did fall down. I didn't realize it was how close it actually was, but he has secured it. A very well done job from him then. Absinthe takes P3, Avio takes P4, Furball P5, Tortor P6, Piblet P7, Hardy P8, Roshko P9, and Lando's getting the final of the top 10 positions, with Overspeed getting the only other driver outside of the top 10 to get a point, as Noosa, Azia, Foxy, Tiger Jr., Raven Duck, Marquez, Jeb, Terrorworm, and Tiger Racing all didn't score anything. However, now you need to sit tight. We are going to have a hype video very soon for you, but we are going to get ready for the F1 races. See you in a second.